finding every part except the phallus. Seth. Seth was the brother of Asa and Asase and Nephthys. He was the god of chaos. He had plotted and overthrew his brother from the throne. The goddess Nephthys was the wife of Seth, but very different behavior from her husband. When her husband killed Asa and threw his parts across Kemet, Nephthys accompanied Asase to look for Asase's mortal remains. This is the first family worshipped along the Nile. Asa and Asase and their son Heru. In actuality, if a prayer is supposed to be started, it has to be started in the name of the Father, the Mother, and the Son. But gender discrimination made the well drop the mother. Heru was the son of God who was conceived by a mother whose husband's phallus was thrown into the river Happy, today called the Nile River. He grew to manhood, avenged his uncle's Seth's misdeeds, and restored his father to the throne. He then gave his father a fitting funeral, or befitting funeral, erected an obelisk in his name, and poured libation before his father departed into the underworld to rule ever after. Now, this is where my tradition comes from. The religion of the Grisi or Fafo people of Ghana and Burkina Faso is called Bakabko. Bare means an obelisk. Kabko means the pouring of libation. To pour libation is a form of worship. So the full meaning of this religion is called worshippers of obelisks. Worshippers of obelisks. No wonder there's a propaganda about people adoring idols. But this religion came directly from the fact that Asa had no phallus, but because of the conjuring of a miracle by these two gods, one god, Asa, the goddess Asase, without a phallus, but were able to have a sexual union to produce a child who then fought his uncle and restored his father's throne, his father's power. The symbol he erected is the obelisk that we are worshiping. The obelisk that we are worshiping. This Son of God worshiped that obelisk, poured libation on that obelisk in his Father's name. So you can go around the world, you see many obelisks, but all obelisks started in ancient Kemet. These are two Tekonos in Luxor in Egypt today. And this is the Washington Monument. A copy of the Tekeno, as Listervelt Middleton would like to remind you, It just didn't start here. It started ancient times, 110,000 years ago. Some anthropologists, Egyptologists, chematologists, paleontologists can go to Egypt today and say that they measure the years of the pyramids. They don't know how long those pyramids have been in existence. They don't know. It's over 110,000 years. Believe me, a worshiper of obelisks would know, because we erect obelisks every time a parent passes away. We give that parent a befitting funeral, and then after the befitting funeral, we erect an obelisk in his name, in her name, and give him or her the honor. This type of religion that I'm talking about, the Baal Karako, has its antecedents from ancient Kemet. There's no joke. There is no joke. You don't see a villager who hasn't been to school one day and can figure out how to erect an obelisk in his father's honor, in his mother's honor. This is about Asa and his family. Asa was the first God-human king of the universe. As I indicated earlier, they were quintuplets, to be precise. One of his brothers was Set, the god of chaos. So if you have a hurricane, have an earthquake, you have any kind of disaster, Set is involved in it. Set is involved in it. And the bottom line is this: there is nothing even the good God can do about it, because both of them are gods. Set got his powers from their father and mother. Asa got his powers from their father and their mother. Asasi got her power from their father and their mother. So one cannot take or deprive the other of the powers that they already have. Set, as I indicated earlier, had plotted this coup to overthrow Asa, and he succeeded. He killed the king and cut his mortal remains into 14 parts. 14. Always remember this figure, 14. Because numerology will tell you of its significance. And 13, the fact that the pharaohs got lost, the count became 13, is also another important figure. Numerology will also tell you what it is. He then distributed the body parts across Kemet and threw his pharaohs into the river Happy. At that time it was called Happy. Now you call it the River Nile. Asa's sister and wife, Asasi, was informed of the bad news and set out to find her husband's mortal remains. She did find every piece except the pharaohs, which was eaten by a catfish. Unbelievable. Set's goal was to make sure that Asa does not have a phallus or a penis so that he can have sexual intercourse. But here is a case whereby you got a god and a goddess. Combine the two, combining their powers, they were able to conjure a miracle. But before that happened, Asasi had to remember her husband's mortal remains and asked him to rise So if you had listened to the first tribute to Listervelt, Middleton, you would have heard of one of his stanzas. Your God, Osiris, rose before Buddha, long before Buddha, long before Christ. That's what Listervelt, Middleton is trying to remind us. Don't let us lose our history, because if you lose the history, you lose your power. You see how strong this statement is? This happened over 110,000 years ago, according to Listervelt, Middleton. That is what means by Osiris' body was restored to life long before Buddha, long before Christ. That's what he's telling us. 110,000 years ago. Don't forget the years. 110,000 years. With her husband's body restored and back in power, Osiris' only goal was to conceive and bear a child. The dilemma was how that could be possible when her husband was missing a phallus. As I told you, a god and a goddess, if they cannot conjure a miracle, I don't know who can. If a god and a goddess could not make that happen, what could? A miracle was conjured, and a sexual union between the two was successful. A child was born and named Heru. Today, when you hear the word hero, it comes from this god called Heru. The Son of God is a hero. And the Son of God, in front of this, the falcon is the Son of God, a symbol of power. After Seth had heard that his plan to deny Asar the proper line of succession had failed, he then set out to destroy the newborn. So he went around looking to find where Heru was, so that he could kill Heru. Asar, see, and Heru went along the Nile Valley and hit on the valley. She was cunning and outmaneuvered Seth. But Seth then went again to remove Asar from power the second time and became king. When Heru grew up, he avenged his uncle and took his father's throne back. That's when he was declared a hero. He then performed a befitting funeral and erected an obelisk or tekin or tekono in honor of his father's missing phallus. So the phallus, the tekono, is a representative or symbol of his father's penis, his father's phallus. So if you see a tekono, Washington Monument, that is it. In Africa, when you are erecting an obelisk for your mother, it's in the form of a pot, because that is the womb. That is the womb. The penis is different from a womb. So to erect something in honor of your father's penis, it has something standing up like a tekin. For a mother, it is a pot, and something can be used to cover the pot. And the symbol of your mother or your mother will be placed on top of that pot so that you can pour libation.